You're listening to Operation Self Reset with Jake Naraki. Now it's time for part 2 of your reset. What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where each and every week we dive into a different topic in the world of personal development. Today, we are in part 2 of our reset protocol. That is right. When it comes to a reset, how do we go about it? How do we do it? Last week was part 1. Today is part 2. And that part 2 consists of the daily reset. What is needed on a regular daily basis for us to become our personal best? But before we do that, I want to interrupt this amazing message with something I call the awesome sauce. It is something that we did last episode. So if this is your first time experiencing the awesome sauce, please embrace it. Please participate. And of course, please do your best to live your best and to bring out your best. And the best way we do that, a lot of best right there, is that we scream, "I'm freaking awesome." Seems ridiculous. It seems silly. And it really is. But at the end of the day, it's just us that we need to take care of. So, if you wouldn't mind, try your best to put yourself in a position of power. Push your chest out, your shoulder blades back. Put your arms overhead. I want you to move those fingers, thumbs up, pinkies out, hang 10, bull horns, whatever you got to do. And on the count of 3, shall scream, "I'm freaking awesome." This is a notion to thyself, to letting ourselves know that we have more to give than we're currently giving, and it awakens the inside. It just makes us feel loose and good. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm freaking awesome! Woo! Yes. It does feel good. It seems ridiculous. Now, what's ridiculous is that I'm imagining some of you participating with me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, but I'm also visualizing some of you guys not taking the time to do it. Why? It's silly. I don't need to do that. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Look, I'm a Midwestern guy myself. Putting yourself out there, doing things a little bit different is not ideal. It makes us feel uncomfortable. But the great thing is you need to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. That is the only way to see through your reset. The only way to become better is to try new things, and hopefully you participated with me in that facet. So there is a quote that I want to start with, and I think if you are on Instagram, Facebook, social media, some way, somehow, somebody has said this quote, and I'm totally going to murder it, but you'll get the essence. Every day you should try something new, along those lines, right? We've seen it in different ways with different backgrounds, and everybody likes it and everybody agrees. But honestly, though, be honest here and truthful with yourself. Did you do something absolutely new yesterday that you've never done before? You tried something for the first time yesterday. A lot of us will say no. There's some that will be like, yeah, I tried sushi for the first time. Yeah, I saw the Empire State Building for the first time. Whatever it is, cool. Kudos to you. You're living up to that quote. But a lot of us are not usually doing something brand new. And why is that? Because we are creatures of habit. We enjoy the comfort of being comfortable. And when you're comfortable, it's a good place to be because you are comfortable. You're in awe. You can just relax and things are taken care of. Where a lot of us start to wither away is the moment and the idea of understanding that we're not comfortable. And to try something new really puts us into a different state of reference, and a lot of us cannot continue down that path because for some odd reason it's not working out. And so that quote of try something new, or when was the last time you did something for the first time, any one of those quotes are great. They're motivational. It makes us aware of what we're doing. But at the same time, the reason why we do things on a regular basis, it keeps us safe. It makes us feel comfortable. And chances are it's not doing anything to jeopardize not only our safety, but our finances, our relationship, our job, anything like that. Because anything that is out of the ordinary, anything that we try for the first time, it actually takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of mental clarity for us to go ahead and do it. So that quote is great, but in the real world, it's maybe not ideal. Now, In the world of resetting, in the world of becoming better, I think I spoke of this in part one, is that you need to understand that when you embark on this journey, you are going to be starting to do things for the first time. A lot of us understand that if we want to lose weight, we need to do things a little bit different. Now, here comes the issue. When we embark on these new ways, chances are we are not putting in the plan. We are not planning enough in our reset. The example that I want to share with you is this. When was the last time you went to a birthday party, a celebration, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, your birthday, somebody else's birthday, some big event where you knew you were going to splurge and eat maybe food that you normally don't eat? Or you knew that you would eat a lot of food and drink because it's the holidays or what have you. And after that food or drink, there was a moment when you're sitting on the couch with, your tight sweater is feeling extra snug, you're kind of hot, you're drinking coffee with all different types of sugars in it because, well, it's the holiday season for goodness sake, and you just hate yourself. You're like, "Oh my god. I just feel like a blimp. I feel sick. I should not have ate this or that or drink that, whatever it is. We've all been there. It's the truth." So then we go, all right, after today or after this meal, when I get home, that's it. No more junk food. No more bad food. No more this. No more that. I'm going to limit my rations of food. I'm going to make smaller preparations, all different types of stuff. And we're just like right on, high five. The problem is that you are in your natural home or space. You're not going to clear out your cupboards. You don't have healthy food to replace the food that you have. You probably have leftovers in your fridge that you don't want to throw away because it was an expensive meal that you prepared or made or whatever it is. And so what do? We go, okay, well, I'll alter it a little bit. And what happens? We go back down the same wormhole. So we have every intent to change. We want to change. We see the change. We are in pain. We are in misery, but yet we don't plan for it, and so we don't follow through on it. Now, that the same applies to all different types of areas within our psyche, within the way that we want to operate within the world. But obviously, food is an easy one because I think we've all been there before. I know I have. It's one of those things that you just kind of wake up and go, okay, I'm done, but yet there's no planning, there's no preparation, and things aren't put in place for you to have a successful quote unquote reset. So unfortunately, we don't have the time to go through every facet of your life. We don't have the time to go through every area and to make sure that it's solidified. But there are two areas in your life that if you start to take control of on a regular basis, you will have the fuel, you will have the knowledge, you'll have the momentum needed to create absolute change in your life on a regular basis. The two areas where you and I can consistently improve upon, get better at, and of course, take control of our day is the bookends, early morning or in the evening time. Everything else is complete chaos. You can't control how your car drives to work. You can't control what they're serving at the luncheon meeting. You can't control your spouse or significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, kids, how they're going to act later in the day when you're exhausted. You can't control all that stuff. But the only things that you can control is the morning and the evening. From the time you get up and a little bit of time thereafter, and then the time before you go to bed. Let me get a little bit deeper here within the bookends of our lives. Now, why is it important to make sure that we control the areas where we can control? Is because you and I like to be in control. If we do not, or if we are unable to be in control, we are going to live a chaotic lifestyle. If you look at your life right now, a snapshot, you have a traditional flow of your normal work week, your work schedule, the way that you operate on a daily basis. Sure, does it switch and kind of go left and right and tit and tat, every maybe weekend or on vacations? Of course, but there is a normal procedure that you operate in currently. Now, if you've been a part of the show, we've talked about the morning routine. I invited on a phenomenal guest. His name was his name is Hale Elrod, I should say. He created a book called The Miracle Morning. This was the first book in a long time that actually gave people the momentum needed to start their day. It was a systematical approach to starting your day, and it was meditation, silence, exercise, journaling, all different types of things, all really good. If that interests you, check out the book. He has a podcast. You can find him all over the place. Hell Elrod, really great guy. But the question I have for you is this. Now, when it comes to your morning routine, what do you have in place? Chances are you know it's important to wake up early. Chances are you know it's important to read, you know it's important to meditate, you know it's important to journal, but what are you doing in your morning routine right here, right now, that can set yourself up for that complete reset, set yourself up for that success, set yourself up for absolute change? You may not have anything right now. You may know the importance of all those things, but you choose not to do anything. And so the question I have for you is why? Why not? If you're destined to become better, a better father, mother, business person, fitness individual, and a person that is an asset to the world, why aren't you taking control of the most important part of your day, which is your AM? Now, there's a lot of different things that I could throw at you, and statistics and stats and ideas and frameworks for you to participate in the morning. I don't want to waste our time talking about all the things that I can glitz and glamour you about. And when they took 10 different people and they woke them up at 5 instead of 5:15, they were able to, do this and that, more productivity, blah blah blah, all that stuff. There's a lot of great knowledge out there. And in today's world, in today's society, we have an absolute, almost kind of bubbling and overflow approach when it comes to information. You can type into YouTube and watch people do a morning routine. You can type into Google and ask, how does Richard Branson wake up in the morning? You can type into all your phone and figure out how celebrities are waking up, or what do they drink, and all different types of things. So it's not a lack of the information. It's not that you're a lost soul and like, I don't know what I'm doing in my world or life. You have an essence. You have the ability to listen to the show. Chances are you have the ability to type into your phone, computer, what have you, to find the answers needed to assist you. The question, though, that I really want to stay clear here is, why don't you have a specific morning routine for yourself? And in summary, and what I was trying to get to in this morning approach, the first bookend of your day, which kind of keeps the day within reason, I was reflecting on my own personal routine. Now, I have different goals, different objectives than you. And so it's very hard for me to tell you what you should and should not be doing in the morning, especially right here, right now. A little synopsis of who I am. I work for the fire department. I have 3 young children. I'm married. I have rental properties on the side. I'm doing this podcast. I'm trying to be a great, loving father that can raise 3 successful men in the future. And so I have my hands full. And so for me, my time to work, my time to get organized is in the morning. My morning routine is going to be different than yours. But I can tell you this, that there are some similarities. So for you, if you don't have a morning routine, hopefully mine can inspire you. And if you have a morning routine, maybe there's different things that you can do to refine it, to change it, that can be more beneficial to yourself. So number 1, I try to wake up early. And the way that I do that is I set my alarm. I keep it in my bathroom. My bathroom is still attached to my bedroom. We have a master bedroom upstairs, and within that we have a bathroom. So it's not like I'm really running through the house to turn off my phone, but it does get my butt out of bed. That is the biggest thing for myself. I enjoy the snooze button. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm human. I'm just like you. I'm not this inferior robot that can just do anything at any time, but I need to get my butt out of the bed. The best way to do that is to set your cell phone in a different room. Turn your alarm clock on loud, either attach it to a speaker or just leave it and let it use its own internal speakers on the phone. But either way, You need to create something that drags you out of bed. If you keep your phone right next to you under your pillow, it's going to be very easy for you to slide your hand under your pillow and to hit the side button or some snooze button that can delay you getting up for another 8, 9, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is for you. So, number one, the best way to get your butt out of bed early to kind of rattle your own cage is to set it in a different room. Because chances are, if you have a spouse, significant other, or even just living by yourself, by getting up out of bed is a huge accomplishment in itself. It is, especially on cold days. I live here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's cold. We get horrible, horrible winters. So the house is cold. The wind is blowing. The comforter on top of me feels amazing. Hopefully, you get the drift. The best way to get out of bed is to get your butt out of bed. Do that whatever means possible. Next, obviously, you can use the facilities. Brush your teeth has worked with individuals to wake up. I don't brush my teeth right away, but I do start pounding the water. Your body is dehydrated. Your body has not eaten or drank anything in the last 6 to 8 hours, depending on who you are, how you sleep, all different types of things. And so the question I have for you is, why would you try to work on yourself in the morning without giving yourself the proper nutrition? Now, no, nutrition is a key attribute. Eating is obviously very good. I don't eat right away. I drink water and lemon, either fresh lemon or a 100% lemon juice or something like that, something that doesn't have added sugar. I incorporate that into my water. It peps me up, hydrates my body, and I'm off to the races. The next thing I do is to move. I do either 15 push-ups, 15 sit-ups, ab ball, something that just awakens my body. I need to move a little bit. I've been laying for the last 6 or 8 hours, and I need something to kind of get my body and my blood moving a little bit because I am going to start to work on myself. And one thing that I realize about myself is that when I try to wake up early and meditate, because meditation is very popular as of now, I could not find the momentum. I could not get the energy to wake up, drink my water, and to sit down or to lay down and to meditate. I would fall asleep. I wouldn't be present. I know there's a lot of studies on letting your mind drift and all different types of things, but I was really, really kind of floating around and I wasn't liking what I was doing. So I needed to move myself to make sure that I was staying focused so I could meditate. And then, of course, the biggest one right now is journaling. For me, journaling is more important, it's more profound, it's more impactful than meditation for myself. You could consider it like a journal meditation of me, figuring out just who I am, what I'm about, how am I feeling, all different types of things. And it's been really, really key. Now, journaling can come in different forms for you. You can journal on your computer through Evernote. You can journal on a standard notebook. You could do the 5-minute journal, which I recommend. It's literally about 5 minutes long, maybe even quicker, and it just asks you a couple of questions to guide you in that region. So if you are an individual that you don't feel qualified to ask yourself questions to maybe get yourself in conversation, 5-minute journal, just Google it or look on Amazon, is really, really crucial. Gives you nice questions. Or any other journaling book out there. I haven't tried them all, but you can do things that allow you to have a conversation with yourself. If you're a person that can free flow, that you can think of things and talk it out, great. If you're an individual that needs more direction, you need questions, then try to get yourself some type of journal that will pull that out of you. Do your own research, see what questions apply to you, and you're off to the races. Now, along with that, I used to read in the morning. I used to read a lot in the morning, but currently I'm trying to write a book, and so this is the time that I usually start to write my book. I write in the morning before I go to work or before the kids wake up or anything like that. That is my time. Now, for some of you, you're probably thinking, well, what time do you go to bed? What time do you wake up? I try to go to bed at around 10 o'clock. I try to wake up around 4:30 a.m. That gives me enough time. There are times that, from work and life and whatever, yeah, I have to sleep in a little bit or I have to go to bed earlier. I try to go to bed earlier instead of wasting the time in the morning. The time in the morning is really crucial. It's quiet, nobody's up, nobody's around. I can do my own thing without feeling the side effects of being a bad parent or a bad spouse or anything like that. So I'd rather go to bed early than to sacrifice my time in the morning. Because again, you need to be a little selfish in this world, and you got to figure out the selfish time for you. For some of you, it's late in the evening. Hopefully, for others, it is in the morning. So, along with that, that's my morning routine. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. If the Miracle Morning interests you, pick up the book, do some Googling. You can probably find a video or a free blog post online that talks about it. But nonetheless, you need to have some type of morning routine that can energize you and allow you to have momentum going into the future. If you do not give yourself the time in the morning to get yourself and your mind right, you are literally like a slave to the day. You are going to be bashed around. The day is going to take advantage of you. You're not going to be prepared. You're not going to be mentally clear. You're going to be kind of all over the place. And as we know, our days are normally like that. We're all over the place. There's things that happen, issues and complaints and time sacrifices. We thought we'd be quicker here or it was later there. All different types of things. We understand that. You need to gather yourself in the morning to make sure that you can start your day on the right foot. From there, personally, after I write my book, when my kids wake up, I eat breakfast with them, and then I'm off to the races, get myself organized, and then I go to work or take the kids to school, what have you. So, the question is, what's the next thing that we can do to make sure that we have a daily reset? For me, the morning is crucial, but the best way to start your day is to plan it the night before. The best way to start your day is to plan it the night before. The reason why I say that is because there's a lot of studies, a lot of neuroscience in the realization that if you want to remember something or you want to do something, you need to think of it in advance. You need to visualize yourself going through it. You need to prepare yourself and almost study it like an athlete. Go through it, do mental reps of that thing. So when you do encounter that activity, that exercise, that idea that you want to perform on, you're ready to go. You have it within you. Now, the thing that I want to share with you, and it kind of goes hand in hand with what I just said, is I created this little idea of a quote-unquote sleep journal. A sleep journal is nothing more than understanding that sleep, each letter within the sleep, with each letter within sleep has an action that coincides with it. The first, I guess I should say, I'll go through each letter. The S is for smile, the L is for learn, the E is for exercise, the second E is for execute, and the P is for praise. Now, I do this every single night before I go to bed. This is closing off the day. This is the bookend. Now, obviously, this is a bookend that closes the day, but you could also say it's also the bookend that starts the day. The reason why I say that is because you'll see here when it comes to execute, you're going to be planning things that are going to be happening tomorrow. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the first S, which is smile. Now, why smile? If you have a pulse, you probably have heard that gratitude is very powerful. It's very important. It's one of those things that you should be working on and thinking about on a daily basis. Gratitude is powerful, period. Smile. Smile represents on something that you were grateful for that happened in the day that you smiled about. It could have been a funny lunch with a friend, interesting text message, a funny phone call, social media. It doesn't really matter what it is, but what you're doing is giving praise, giving gratitude to something that happened in that day. Because chances are, by you getting ready for night, you're not really thinking about and reflecting on all the great things that happened in the day. You're probably thinking about how, what do you need to get organized tomorrow? What do you have to have for lunch? What are you going to wear? What time you have to leave? What the kids have to do? All different types of things. And the only way to go ahead and to reflect on the day is to plan for it. And that's why in the sleep journal, the first thing I put in there is one thing that made you smile. Now, originally when I started, I thought, okay, well, I'll write down 3 things that made me smile. And what I realized through time is people are lazy. I'm lazy. If I have to make you write down 3 things, this sleep journal really turns into more of a chore than a fun activity. And so the challenge I have for you is to embrace the sleep journal challenge and to try it for at least 1 week straight. The first thing that you're going to do is write down the S and smile, and to jot out one idea that made you smile. It can be anything, everything. All you're doing is giving gratitude to the day that has now passed. The second thing is to learn. What did you learn today about yourself, about your business, about your kids, about your spouse, significant other, about life, about sports, about books, about, grass? It doesn't really matter. What did you learn? Again, you and I learn. We receive and analyze and digest so much information throughout our day. It would be really, really behoove you to write down something that you learned, of course, number one, about yourself. But if you can't think of that, if you feel like you didn't learn anything, but what did you learn in general? About other people, about interactions, networking, eating out, driving your car, police officers. It doesn't really matter what it is. What did you learn? Again, by doing this shows that you can grow. By doing this shows that you have the ability to continuously educate yourself. And when you continuously educate yourself, you continuously grow. And when you want to reset and you want to change, the whole reason you want to change or reset is so you can grow into a better person, become a better individual. And so that is why it's really, really crucial for you to write down one thing that you learned. Now, this second half here, we can divide the sleep journal or the sleep word into two parts. The smile and the learn are the front half, kind of reflecting on the day. Now, everything else that happens from here on out, the E, and P, is really based on what's going to be happening tomorrow. Now, the first E that we are going to encounter is exercise. Exercise is one of those things that we know we should be doing more of. It's something that we should do on a daily basis. You should try to sweat every day. You should try to push yourself a little bit every single day. And the only way to make sure that we incorporate that into our schedule is to plan for it. Now, again, this sleep journal you're doing before you go to bed. And this part of the sleep journal you are going to be preparing for tomorrow. So I want you to think to yourself, when can I exercise? Now, exercise doesn't mean going to the gym and maxing out. Exercise doesn't mean running a marathon. Exercise can be like going for a walk. Exercise could be taking your dog for a walk. Exercise could be doing stretching, yoga, Pilates, cycling, riding your bike, skateboarding, anything in the matter of you're preparing to activate your body in some way, some fashion, and you need to prepare for it. As in, when are you going to do it during your day? If you write down that you are going to go for a walk during your lunch break, then you better do it during your lunch break. This is almost like creating an accountability partner for free. By you stating and writing down that you will exercise tomorrow at lunch, you are building into your psyche that you will prepare that and accomplish that in your next day. Okay? So it's very crucial. Health is very key. If you take care of just your health and everything else around you, everything else, your whole ability, your whole ego, your whole aura around yourself is going to dwindle. But by taking care of your health alongside of taking care of your relationships, along taking care of your spiritual side, along taking care of your business, along taking care of your family, will support those endeavors, will allow you to be more energetic and present and capable of interacting with those other areas of your life than if you were not to take care of your health. So health and exercise obviously go hand in hand, but it's very important to move your body. If your body moves, your brain grooves. If your brain is grooving, you are going to have the ability to think clearly, act precisely, and make the right decisions needed to assist your body and your life into moving to the right direction when it comes to your reset and change. So now the second E is to execute. The second E is execute. Execute on what? There are priorities and things that you and I need to accomplish every single day that we live. From groceries to filling out a huge project for your business. And anything and everything in between, we need to make sure that we write them out and, of course, think about them so we can accomplish those things. When it comes to the sleep journal, the reason why I put execute in there is because you start to already plan and think about what needs to happen tomorrow. If you are an individual that stresses out about things, or an individual that when you're laying in bed or you go to sleep and you're thinking about all the things you have to do, this is an area for you to almost kind of to vomit all of those ideas, to-do lists, things that need to get completed onto a piece of paper so you don't forget about it, number one. Number two, to get it off your brain. And number three, to already start to mentally prepare that you need to complete those for tomorrow. Now, the way that we execute is kind of in 4 steps. I want you to create a list, 1 through 3, of the 3 top things that you need to accomplish for tomorrow. 3 top things. Number 1 is this, number 2 is that, number 3 is this and that kind of thing. Then, the 4th thing is your must. The one thing that you have to do no matter what. The one thing that you have to do no matter if your car blows up and you're not able to go to work. The one thing that you have to do if your house starts on fire, you need to at least try to do no matter what. Now, obviously, your house starts on fire, that's pretty extreme, but I want you to think of the one thing that you need to do no matter what. For some of you, it may be as simple as waking up at 5 a.m. because that's really hard for you. For some of you, it may be taking care of that big business presentation that you have been preparing for the last month. Or it could be something as in make sure that you go to your kids' rehearsal or recital or something like that that will make their day and in return create a huge impact in your own personal life. Okay? So again, to execute, you're writing down 3 things, your top 3 things that you need to accomplish tomorrow. Then you need to write down that 4th idea, which is the must. You have to do no matter what. No matter if you feel like it, no matter if you're tired, no matter if you have food poisoning, the thing that you need to accomplish no matter what. It can be as simple as waking up. It can be as complex as doing something very extreme for yourself, your business, or anything in between. The last letter in the sleep journal, which is P, is praise. So before I get into that, I want to do a recap here. Sleep is S-L-E-E-P. We have smile, which is our first thing, to reflect on the day, what made us smile. L is learn, what do we learn? E is exercise, when are you going to exercise tomorrow? The other E is what are you going to execute on? The top 3 things, and then of course your number 4 is must. And then the 5 is praise. Getting back to what we started here with the smile, smiling is giving gratitude, right, on the day, kind of feeling appreciative that you were able to be happy and loving and all different types of feelings that associate with those things. The last letter here is P for praise, is I want you to think of who can you praise tomorrow. Praise is an idea of letting that other individual know that they're appreciated. Letting them know that what they have been doing or working on or the thing that they've been trying, you've seen them, you watch them, you understand how complicated it is, or you just want to let them know that you love them and support them in their endeavor. If you're able to praise somebody every single day, you will reap huge rewards for yourself. Now, why should you praise? What is the science behind it? The more you give, the more you get. By telling somebody else how awesome they are, you're going to feel awesome in return. It's free, it's easy to do, it takes barely any effort. The only thing that I ask of you to do is to make sure that when you're doing the sleep journal, you write down who are you going to praise. Are you going to praise your mom, your kids, your boss, or maybe your employees, a friend at the gym, a stranger, giving them praise on a shoes or purse or the way that they, the car that they drive, whatever it is. You need to try to figure out who can you praise tomorrow. Obviously, if you're going to praise a random person, that's going to be tough to do because obviously we know how life is. You don't know exactly where people are going to be, obviously. But you can put into your schedule that you will praise a random stranger tomorrow at the grocery store or tomorrow on the way to work or at Starbucks or whatever it is that you feel is necessary, okay? So you need to make sure that you put that into the praise. Now, obviously, what is the whole point about this? Jake, this seems ridiculous. This seems to take a really long time. I don't know if I can do it. I go to bed in such a hurry. I don't have enough sleep already. Blah, blah, blah. The excuses, excuses, excuses. I get it. I'm human too. If you do not continuously put this into your life, you will continuously slip into the downfall of being comfortable. Let me say that again. If you do not incorporate the sleep journal into your routine or the way that you live your life, you will become comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you do not want to change. When you're comfortable, you do not want to reset. When you're comfortable, chances are you're not going to feel like getting up and doing it. But if you plan for it, but if you have a list of the things you have to execute, you have to do it. But if you have a person or a thing of giving them praise, you have to do it. You have to send them a text message. You have to give them a call. You have to send them an email. You have to communicate with that person and give them praise. Because if you do not try to do something different here, you will get comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you do not want to change. And then you'll be back next week, year, month, whatever, feeding your face full of food again and feeling disgusting. And oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to fit in my bathing suits. Or oh my gosh, people are going to judge me. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to feel comfortable in my own skin. If you want to truly change, you have to be willing to change for yourself. And it starts with a decision to wake up early, a decision to put your phone in a different bedroom or different room, a decision to make sure that when you get up, you have a game plan, a decision to work on yourself, a decision to make sure that you go to bed with a couple minutes to spare so you can outline your sleep journal. Decisions, decisions, decisions alter your life. If you don't make the right decisions, the decisions won't grant you the ability to change or reset. If you choose decisions based on how you feel, if you choose decisions based on comfort factor, you will be exactly where you are a year from now, 3 months from now. All of us want to become better. That's personal growth. And you may be thinking to yourself, Jake, you know what? If I choose to do nothing, I'm still going to grow. You're right. Yes, you will. You will continuously grow just a little bit. But if you want to make those massive changes, if you want to feel good multiple times a day, if you want to reflect and appreciate the day that you just witnessed, which is it's the biggest miracle that you and I could ask for, but yet we throw it away like it was nothing. We throw it away like it was a disaster. We kick it around like it's no big deal. If you do that, if you treat it like it is, then it's going to treat you like it is. And the world is going to speed by you. It's going to eat you up. You're not going to be able to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, do the things you want to do, see the things you want to see, and be the things that you want to be. If you choose to live that, then God bless you. Too many of us are kicking that day away. As I record this, it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I had a full day. I woke up at 5 a.m. today. I know I said 4:30. Yesterday was a bad night and whatever. I granted myself the 30 minutes. I woke up. I just said 30 minutes. I set it back down in my bathroom. I went to bed. It was probably not the best decision, but I did it. And I still woke up early and I still took control of my day. But needless to say, that a lot has happened today. And yet we act like nothing has. We just push through. We get the chores done. We get the checkoffs, and we just go, it's finally over. And then we can sit back, relax, and have a cocktail. But that's not the way that true individuals that strive to change on a regular basis choose to live. Everything that you do is a choice. It's the decision. The question is, are you truthful enough that the decisions you make are the right ones? And you're not lying to yourself or gimmicking yourself and saying, well, I can have this or I can do that. Well, tonight's an off day. I was feeling a little sick today. I am feeling tired. The individuals that we all look at and we go, wow, how did they do that? Wow, they're so talented. Wow, they're so good. Wow, they're so successful. Wow, they're so loving and so amazing. All those different types of things. How do you think they did that? They pushed through. They were very truthful. They didn't lie. They didn't scam themselves. They woke up when they needed to. They worked on themselves when they had to. They went to bed. They worked on themselves. They planned it out, everything that needed to happen. and they continue to give appreciation for things that have happened and the things that are going to happen in the future. And they set themselves up for success. Setting yourself up for success is not a new term. It's not a new, hot topic or anything like that. It's been around forever. Why? Because it's truthful and it's true. It's truthful and it works. It's truthful and it works. So, that is the way to have a daily reset. Take care of the bookends. Take care of your morning, take care of your evening, and you need to plan. If you don't have a plan, if you fail to prepare to fail. Your day is going to be a disaster. You're going to be exactly who you were 2 days ago, which is the individual that you're trying to get away from. And so if you're trying to be that individual, you need to take control of your AM and your PM, your bookends. If the things that I shared seem to suit you and you like it, great. Write it down, put it into action. If it doesn't, then go and do your own research. Go on YouTube, find a blog post, do whatever that's needed to make sure that you have the right tools and resources and abilities to make sure that your plan will come together. And the best part is, if you try to journal on Evernote and you don't like it, you can change it. If you try to do 15 push-ups and you think that's ridiculous and you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But you need to make sure that you have a rigid schedule that can hold you accountable when the times are great, the seas are amazing, the sun is out, and of course during the times when the seas are grumpy, and there's waves, and there's rain, and there's wind, and there's lightning and thunder and all different types of stuff. Because when those moments hit, you need to have a game plan. You need to have a solidified approach that can weather the storm. I was watching a documentary. I'll end it on this, I should say. I was watching a documentary on McGregor. He is a UFC fighter. You probably have heard of him, even though you're not a fight fan. He was the individual that challenged Floyd Mayweather in the boxing ring, even though he was a mixed martial arts expert or champion, whatever you want to call him. The one thing that he said after his loss is that the best way to defeat a loss, the best way to get over the pain, the best way to get over the depression, anxiety, and the poor me, and I should have did this, or he was given too many points here or there, is to get back and train. That's what McGregor said, is to get back and to train right away. Not even to have a day off. And for you, when you do have those bad days, or you did lose the day, you didn't win the day like everybody says you should, get back to the fundamentals. Get back to the training regimen. Get back to waking up early. Get back to getting your butt out of bed. Get back to making sure you have a couple minutes before bed, thinking about your day for tomorrow, so on and so forth. The best way to get over a horrible day, a horrible experience, even though you had the plan of resetting, even though you had the idea of change, the best way to get through it, the best way is to get back at it every single day, no matter what. There are no days off. Well, I mean, unless it's like Christmas morning or something. But regardless, there are no days off. You need to try your best every single day. It's okay to reset a couple of times. It's okay to continuously wanting to change, the urge, the getting back to fundamentals. It's there. We're human. It's obvious. Nobody can stay consistent forever, but there are individuals that we look up to that are able to be consistent because even on their worst days, they get up and they try again. Try again. So with that being said, that is the end of part 2 of the Daily Reset. Part 2, look forward to part 3 coming out next week, Wednesday. Again, I appreciate you guys. If there's anything I can do for you, send me an email, jake@operationselfreset.com. If you would like to be part of the subscription-based emails, head on over to operationselfreset.com. And if there's anything I can do for you guys in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to me. With that being said, I appreciate you guys full-heartedly. I thank you for your time. Good luck in your own personal reset and your personal change. And I can't wait to hear about what is going on in your world. Again, feel free to email me. Search for me on social media. I'm real big into Instagram, and my name is my name, Jake Naraki. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you next week, Wednesday, for another great episode of Operation Self Reset.